You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the August 26th meeting for the LaPorte County Convention and Visitors Bureau Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
May we have the roll call, please?
Laura Krebs. Here. Adam Konechny.
Here.
Martha King. Here. Pat Harris.
Here.
Becky Greenlaw. Here. Don Babcock.
Yeah, man.
Mike Seitz. No?
He will be zooming in.
Okay. Diane Gonzalez.
Present.
Rich Grammarosa. We have a quorum.
Thank you for that. Well, welcome everybody, and nice to see staff all rested up now. We had another wonderful and successful year with our boat race. You guys did a phenomenal job. Just want to congratulate you and just let you know that the community is in real good hands with you guys at the helm for this boat race. We appreciate what you're doing. It's good work. And Jack kind of heads you up, but we know you guys are out there doing your fair share, so we appreciate you. Board members, same to you, all of you that were able to attend the events. It's an event for this community that we just have to make sure we are out there and letting them know that it's a team effort to do that. The team doesn't stop right here with the Visitors Bureau. It goes out to the community too, but definitely we're kind of spearheading it and pulling it all together. So just a great event. Looking forward to next year. And Jack's gonna give us some numbers and so forth on it later. And you had a chance to see the numbers. I hope that you all had a chance to look at some of the numbers. They didn't go to everybody?
No, we just, today.
Today, okay. All right. So Jack will go over some numbers with you. I had a thought, I kind of ran it past Jack, and I'd like the board members to just think about it. We're not going to decide on this today, and I'm not sure if we want to do it, but I just wanted to throw it out for some thought. In the future, maybe in 2026, starting to do a consent calendar or consent agenda so that we can expedite the board meeting. You'll still get all of the information ahead of time, and those items that are on the consent calendar at the meeting, we can, if we need to, we can pull something off and discuss it if it needs to not be included in the consent agenda / calendar. So just kind of think about that. Just a way to maybe speed our, I shouldn't say speed, but make our board meetings more efficient. And with that, we're going to now have Dan Barris. Dan ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Dan is going to be zooming in with us this morning, and he's going to give us an update on our strategic plan and also talk a little bit about the forum that's coming up in September.
Yeah, thanks, Pat. Boy, we've done a lot of work, and there's really exciting. We have two big convenings that the CDB is going to host in September. On September 17th, we've got the Regional Tourism Forum, where it's going to be in Purdue Northwest. We're going to gather regional stakeholders in tourism, elected officials, business leaders, to have a discussion about the role of regional tourism, particularly as it relates to Northern Indiana Tourism Development Commission. It's really a great time to have this kind of discussion because two of our counties, Lake and Porter, have just had new executive director or CEOs added to the leadership team. So we have that kind of change going on. And the LaPorte County CDB has taken on the management contract for NITC. So what an appropriate time. And I think you'll all be glad to know that we have been working, Jack and I, very closely with Josiah Brown to head up this tourism forum and another forum we'll talk about in a second. So Josiah brings a great background and perspective. We all love him because he was here for the strategic planning process. But what many of you probably didn't get the chance to see that Jack and I in particular did is Josiah's background, not only as a consultant, but as a practitioner. So he leads a regional group out of New York, and he brings them together around projects that are very similar to what we do within ITDC. So to engage him with not only his general tourism background, and he has a great relationship with all of our CVB CEOs already, but he also has practical knowledge with working with travel servicing on a toll road. Well, guess what? That's what we do. With doing regional projects where you have to find value for all the stakeholders. So it's just a perfect marriage at a perfect time, and we're really excited. So we met last week with Josiah and Jack and I and three of our regional advisory board members to kind of talk through what we've discovered so far. Josiah's been here, he's visited every one of our travel plazas along the toll road. He has, excuse my voice, I'm just getting over a cold here. And he has really done a deep dive in our Northern Indiana Advocates Government Affairs and Advocacy Program and our Indiana Cool North brand marketing. So he started to, I gave a history in that meeting on the background of NITDC and our 30-year history with the toll road. And then Josiah gave a summation of what his findings were after visiting and doing a deep dive into competitive analysis. And I'll just say at the end of that meeting, everybody in that room was very excited about what's coming in September. And I think you will be too. I don't really have much more detail I think it's appropriate to go into now. I'll leave it if Jack feels like he wants to add something, that's fine. But we're going through a very thorough process with a high-level team and teams. And when you come in, I think you'll be very proud of what you see the CVB and NITDC do as we convene these regional stakeholders for this forum. So far, we've sent out invitations across the region. We've got 60 RSVPs, and we'll probably double that between, increase by significantly. So we're going to have a great turnout, and this is going to be a great conversation. It's really going to speak into how we should move.
Oops.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
How much of that was I unmuted for most of it?
No.
No.
Oh, I was.
See how we move.
Yeah.
See how we move.
You're
muted
for the last sentence or two.
Oh, so I was unmuted most of the time?
Yes.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. So, Jack, do you have any other things you want to add to that?
Yeah, the only thing, you triggered something there, and I just want to make sure the board gets a kind of full understanding of what the method to our madness here is with the forum, especially. Dan's we'll close it by talking a little bit about the Thursday session, but as you all know, we have that toll road contract, and we're at a point where there's 2.5 years left on that contract. So we have to make several decisions moving forward. One, do we even want to engage in operating the toll road again? Fair question. We need to ask that. Do all the member counties want to? What we're going to be talking about Wednesday morning is, what does that bring any value to the region? And if it does, what is it? Okay, and then we'll be talking locally about what's the value to us, okay, LaPorte County. And so those are some decisions that are going to have to be made, some hard decisions. We have some closed sessions with some of our members to talk about, is this something we really want to do? Because if it is, the advocacy piece on a Tuesday, which is a private session, but we may need to call out help. in 2 years, like we did before. We may need to call out legislators for our own benefit this time, not for a piece of legislation or something else. And we did it 10 years ago, and it was so successful, we patterned this forum after that forum that we did back at Notre Dame 10 years ago to convince the toll road operators that politically it was the right thing to do to give us the contract, because otherwise they were not going to give it to us. So we'll kind of decide if we want it. If we do, what's the next steps and how close are we to getting to the mix and that. Right, Dan, that pretty good summary on that?
Yeah, that's a good little cherry on top of that for sure.
And then did you want to, Thursday, Dan?
Well, I just want to jump in here and just so that the board understands. I think our role should be on Wednesday and Thursday, and I'd like to encourage, if we could, to have 100% attendance from our board members on Wednesday afternoon, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and then Thursday. That's where I'd like to see the board members, and I think we're going to be able to really get something
The
out.
morning session on Wednesday and Thursday.
Oh, you want us at the regional session too?
Please,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, I thought that was just going to be the.
The 11 to 1 is only the board presidents, but 9 to 11
Okay,
is open.
So it's Wednesday at 9 and
Yeah.
Thursday at 9.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Yep. Did you want to talk any about Thursday, Dan?
Well, I'll kick it off, you chime in, Jack. I mean, Thursday, again, Josiah, as part of our engagement, we're bringing him in to do an update to the strategic planning process we did last year, which we said we were gonna do. And that's gonna be with our board and stakeholders across LaPorte County. And we're going to have a discussion around things we'd like to see added to the 2026 plan. That is in alignment with our 2025 strategic plan. So it's just one of those things where we're following up in a very professional way to keep our planning process on point and making sure we're staying disciplined with it.
Dan, this is where we're inviting the community
Yes.
leadership in.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
have we started to do that yet? And do we have any responses or?
Yeah, we do. We were sending out a series of invitations weekly just to go through for both of these events. Diane, what do you have the counts for where we're at for Thursday?
While Dinah's looking, I've been tracking the responses and we're getting good RSVPs both ways. A couple folks have conflicts. I think one of the days, the mayor's got a golf outing.
Yeah, Thursday,
So we got a little conflict later there that day, and the chamber's got, but there's a couple little conflicts, but we're getting a good response on to answer your question, Pat. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was done, I think, I'm done. You done, Dan?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll be looking forward to a complete update in September on our strategic plan. Right, Dan?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. Okay, thank you very much. With that, we'll move right to our treasurer's report. Becky?
Okay. So for July 2025, total accounts payable, $211,069.17. Payroll, $171,259.52 for a grand total of $382,328.69. And I have the statements of financial position, the profit and loss budget performance, along with the July bank account reconciliations, and the corresponding claim sheets for the board's signature.
All right, you've heard Becky's report. We had a chance to review her statements. I'll ask for a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Then a motion by Don Babcock and a second by Laura Prince.
No.
That's okay. Adam.
Yeah.
I guess that's separate you guys. That's
Sound
all.
like-
I heard no more.
I know, I didn't say sound like.
Basically twins.
Okay, so Adam conditioning and Laura. With that, is there any change, are there any changes or comments, questions? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And we're gonna back up for a minute because I did forget to do our minutes. And see, this is where the consent to calendar was great today, because I wouldn't have had to do that. I planned that, right? Okay, so you've had a chance to review the minutes, and I'll ask for a motion for approval.
Second.
We have a motion by Becky Greenlaw and a second by Martha King. Any discussion, questions, comments? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, Jack, that brings us down to our operations and finances section. Give us an update.
Did you want to go comments and minutes?
Oh, we did minutes, we just did minutes. Are there any public comments?
I didn't know.
No, sorry.
Sorry, yeah.
I'm a little bit off this morning.
Yeah, all right, okay. So I'm up now?
Yes, you're
Yeah,
up.
good deal, okay. A little bit different kind of update today because obviously Pat started out the meeting with congratulations on the boat race. There's so much still out in that arena that we're gonna touch on a couple things today. We don't have the economic impact, but we do have the visitor numbers that we're gonna share with you today, and it's really exciting. So we got a couple things we'll share. We got the hype video, in case you didn't make it to the award ceremony, that we were part of X Insurance and Bill and several of the other folks were part of putting together. And then Robbie was working on a series of videos for us. And we're going to show a little bit about why Michigan City, what the boat racers feel about Michigan City. Just to get you guys some updates, I can say that projection-wise, well, we had the most attendance we've ever had. There's no doubt about that. We've stretched it longer, all that. We were completely satisfied with the number of race teams. Probably set a record, not probably, we did. And we just don't have room for any more, really. So we have to change our marketing strategy a little bit on that. But a lot of good stuff to report. Financial side, the upside is we're going to take in way more than we've taken in ever in sponsorship and associated income, like vendor fees. Vendor fees, we raised them finally, and we had a lot more vendors, so we got a really good hit there. Sponsorship-wise, the best we've been. We probably at least doubled the VIP sales, maybe a little more than that, the VIP ticket sales, and that was really good. So we'll talk more about some of those things when we get all the money in, because it's a lot easier to tie it all together because the downside of the money is we spent more than we normally do too. I can just tell you that right now, just all the added things that happened, we spent more, we brought more in. It's just kind of where that's I see that landing. So I'm glad to talk about any aspects of it. We've got a staff meeting as soon as we close this down to do our first debriefing. So I thought it best to wait until we do ours, and we haven't got all the infrastructure folks in yet to get their feedback. I do have some from around the country. I can tell you this, we've had 3 offers to convince us to drop our current title sponsor and go with another one. And when there's literally a bidding war going on for Michigan City right now. That's really kind of a cool place to be.
I'd be interested if any of them would be willing to take like a second.
Oh, that would. Absolutely. Those are kind of discussions. A lot of it has to do with the politics of what's happening here. You know, both sides want to best the other one. Well, we're kind of the pinnacle now of everybody wants to be here, right? And so that's kind of a good place to be in. So we're maneuvering that. Don got to sit through a little bit of that. Pat sat through it off and on different times. The politics of offshore racing.
It's more complex than you might think. It's Jack's a good moderator for this, and obviously we have a wallet, so that helps a lot too. But also, beyond just the funding, it's also all of your hard work to make it a phenomenal event. And I agree. I think this is the best year you've ever had. I think I've been with this 15 or 16 years, something like that.
You were here, we started.
So it's just growing and growing and growing. And with growing, you get some pains. So you have to put some more energy in. But, I can't say enough about the quality of the event and all the coordination and the activity, the positiveness about it, the family angles to it. I mean, I think I would agree, I think it's going to continue to grow, but I think we need to really manage that growth. And also, as you mentioned, the reason we have more interest in the sponsorships is because of the quality of the event. And what I got a dose of in the conversation between the racers, so I'll just give you a direct comment. So you have the guys on the high end, they got the big dollars, and then you got the guys in the middle.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the guys in the middle are self-made multimillionaires, right? So they do this for fun, but they take their whole family and a whole entourage, sometimes across the whole nation, to come to an event. And when they get to the venue, they really appreciate it when it's well coordinated and that they know their place in line. They're not sitting there waiting to put their boat in or find where they're supposed to be at. And that just takes an unbelievable amount of work. So I think our team just did a phenomenal job in terms of trying to figure it out. But also, one of the stories that they told, and it has to do a little bit with this coordination too, is somebody showed up at drove halfway across the nation, and I think a number of them did this. They didn't even get the race because you put all that effort out. I get there, I don't get to put my boat in the water. Are you kidding me? So that's what can happen if you don't have this coordinated well. And also it has to do with, it sounds like a pecking order relative to within what boats get in first or not. I mean, I don't know if I think I described it halfway accurately or not, but just a great job. So
Yeah, like what Don's talking about there is the people that we farm it out to run it. So there's so many decisions that factor into this. That's just one. But if you get the wrong people to come in, that's when you run into delays at the crane. Then that's what sets these guys' hair on fire, and they don't want to come back. So then please, if our staff heard, please, we'll replay what Don said at the beginning. We opened up our wallet. Okay, that's the key to the whole thing, guys, and it all goes back to heads and beds and our innkeeper. We're going to open up the staff meeting in an hour with. Okay, I hope everybody heard that, because we do open up our wallets, and the other cities don't have this kind of an option, that they have somebody that our mission happens to be doing that. Yes, the other ones have to raise their own money through benefits and charities and out of their pockets and different things. So anyway, good.
That is good, and all those comments are very well received. I think we get it here in LaPorte County. I think the CBP really gets it, and that's one of the reasons we're doing this forum, is we want to make sure the residents of this county understand the importance of the visitor. And if you all remember at the retreat how Josiah covered that and made that point very clear, that people that live here have to understand the visitor is not the enemy. And they don't all act right or good or whatever, but overall, you have to really do that. And for this CBP to understand that the dollars coming in need to go right back out, and need to go back out into promoting more events like this coming in with heads and beds. That's how we keep the ball rolling. So
I should give Scott a big shout out, though. I mean, I don't know how you've still have your head still together, keeping this thing going, because it's just a monumental task and done so professionally. And also, it's not just the professionalness of doing it; it's the sense of urgency. When somebody comes to you, I saw it any number of times. They have a problem, you just, I'll try to fix it, rather than shuffle it off, or I'll get to you in an hour, or whatever. I mean, that's phenomenal. So congratulations, and I think obviously you and the rest of the folks here involved are a big part of this success. So.
Thank you. That's
Well, the twins, I think, help calm he and Chelsea.
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, Chuck. I didn't mean to cut.
The twins are.
That's a beautiful whenever you give somebody a compliment, right? So.
You were, let me correct you a little bit, I passed it off to Chelsea.
There we go, excuse me. Well, I got done, so go ahead, right?
Good, great comments, thank you all, yeah. So, that kind of segues into why people want to come here, so why don't we show what the racers told us when we asked them about coming here. Coming up, Mike Seitz is calling, guys. Yeah, Mike, did we lose you? I can hear you now. We got a video going. Hang on a second. Is he attached?
So he probably can't view it just because of how everything is set up.
We got something else on the screen, but yeah, we're good, Mike.
Yeah, he's on.
All right, yep, thank you. Yeah, no problem, Mike. No problem, Mike. Sorry, guys.
I think like the fans here, obviously it's, the fans are very welcoming and comforting to us because not a lot of races people don't like just come up to you, ask all these questions. Like this is probably one of my favorite like races based off my fan base. Yeah.
Beachtown, in all reality, not a lot of people are familiar with Michigan City, Indiana. Whenever it says Michigan City, we're going to Michigan. It's like, no, actually Indiana. The fans here are just awesome. They're very, very warm. They're down to get down and rock and roll with us and have a good time.
I don't know. Why is that?
I don't know.
I heard him last night.
Yeah, I listened to it on the way here.
This is through Dropbox. I can try and pull it up through. No, the only other one you sent me is a low res route.
Okay. It's playing on my computer.
Would it work with closed caption or something? Or?
Could you try just download the video real quick and then play? I don't know. Maybe it's just not downloading. Let's hit the arrow right there. Or continue with download only at the bottom. Sorry about that. Just got sent a lot.
I clearly heard him say, all those ladies in the info
So why this is downloading, give a quick background. This is one of our first videos we're working on. It's about 75% done. But like the comments and stuff in there are what's mostly going to stay. And we're going to be adding in more B-roll. We've seen some of that in there already. But we have a series of videos that we're going to start putting together and start telling that story. And when we go into the demographics and data section later, you'll see how we're going to start shaping these stories for these different demographics to speak to them. And one of the things that doesn't show up in this video, and it goes to what we were saying earlier, like so many drivers, as we were wrapping up the interview and talking to them off camera, so many of them said, I just want to give a special thanks to Chelsea, Scott, or Jack, or they didn't know them by name. They said the guy's running this race. Like it is just so easy as an operator to come here and everything's ready to go. Everything's so convenient, and that's what really sets our destination apart in so many different ways. So yeah, they definitely give a special shout out in that direction.
While that's downloading, let's show the video we showed at the awards. Can we do that, Chelsea?
I've got to find it. Hang on. It's in here somewhere.
So we made a conscientious decision to jazz up our awards bank and do some different stuff. And Bill and Amy and others worked with X-Insurance to put this one together. Pretty well done.
This was awesome.
Yeah.
This is the one, that was awesome.
How heavy is this game?
Yes! Hell yeah!
Life and death?
That's it. And you kiss your family on the dock, you never know if that's the last time or not.
I love Michigan City. It can be dead flat, or it can literally break boats in half. For this race, if it does get big, it's about survival. If it's flat, it's going to be an all-out dogfight.
I want this first place.
Michigan City, the greatest offshore racing site in the world, don't miss it.
That says my life.
Staring at the sea. Give you something to believe. To show you now that it's more than just a feeling. Never met a match I couldn't handle. No one else would ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, 'cause you know
When they show that-
Are you gonna show that thing on Purdue?
You want them to show?
This would be
To the visit, to the,
at the Visitors Bureau training, or the other piece.
yeah.
I just think that is so powerful for anybody to see here. It's really phenomenal.
When they
Well
did,
done.
when they did this at the awards banquet, all the teams out there, when their boat showed, they roared and cheered, and it added a special effect. I had little goosebumps on me by the time it was over, but it was so compelling to just see that. It's awesome. Right on our lake.
Are we gonna try the other one now, or do we
Yeah,
we move on?
Looks like it's good.
Yeah, that's right, we should show that.
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, just let that one, that's on.
The top.
I think like the fans here, obviously it's, the fans are very welcoming and comforting to us, because not a lot of races, people don't like just come up to you, ask all these questions. Like, this is probably one of my favorite like races based off my fan base or something like that.
Beach town, in all reality, not a lot of people are familiar with, Michigan City, Indiana. Everybody says Michigan City, we're going to Michigan. It's like, no, actually Indiana. The fans here are just awesome. They're very, very warm. They're down to, get down and rock and roll with us and have a good time.
We'll have it for you.
Yeah, I'll skip forward a little bit, see the next interview is.
The fact that you have a beautiful beach right there that's not from Florida, and I'm in the Caribbean all the time, it looks like you're in the Caribbean, and you're in Indiana, so that's awesome. And then the pad is right next to the race course, which is not so rare in what we do. A lot of times, like in Florida, our pad is 3 miles from the beach where we race, so you don't get, what I mean? The logistics are awesome, and then of course the people are just, how much they love our racing is, it really makes us just really want to come back and put on a show for them.
I tell my kids we're going to the beaches that look like California beaches. It's beautiful area.
They embrace the races like wholeheartedly, and we love the parades and just the whole atmosphere and how involved the city is in this. They are so welcoming to racers.
This race site, the people that put it on, the town behind it, that's huge for a race. A lot of times the towns don't get behind races, and this town, everybody's behind it. The food's been great. The reception tonight is just over the top, and this couldn't be a better race site. And to stand on the beach and watch a race, you couldn't get any better than that.
Fans in the city go on the carpet. It is the best site. We love it. We're actually putting on a race in Toronto next year, July 11th weekend, and we're going to copy this. And I'm sure you're going to let that go wide. Just every race team. We love it here.
Oh, man.
Yeah, my guys,
But it definitely seems like it grows every single year. There's like so much to do on the beach and you're growing plus audiences, yeah. So it's just fun to get everybody together. We all party, but it's also a family, so it's a good time.
That was really good for beach vacation people, and it's a really clean beach. Water's great, sand's amazing. I tell you how much we appreciate Michigan City. The people, first of all, the street party last night was amazing. The people come out, and I can't tell you how many people said thank you to us. And really, that's not the way it is. Yeah, thank you to them for supporting this event. And we love racing on Lake Michigan. Like this water's awesome. You got a flat day, you got a rough day, you got both in the same day. It's so much fun, and it's really, really challenging for the teams.
Communities like Michigan City would be non-existent. So it's something that we love coming to Michigan City. This is one of our favorite trips.
So over the weekend, we shot about 30 different interviews, and that was just a sample of, just a few of them. We're still getting all of them organized and put into story format. But you can see overwhelmingly, all the drivers, they love coming here. The people we interview on the beach, at the boat parade, they love what's going on. So it's just shows a testament of how smooth of an operation we're running.
Great, thanks, Robbie.
I had an opportunity, and Don was at the table also at one of the dinners with Logan's Heroes.
Yeah.
And that part of Race Week was very special to them, and of course us as a community. And I'd like to see, maybe a little bit more beef up on that, because that was really special to hear them talk. It was two different race teams, but they grew up together and they knew each other. And they're two different race teams, and they're like family. And that was the one thing that I've gotten out of this all through the years, is that the whole group is like one big family. Somebody needs something, race team B comes down and helps out A and Z and D, and they help each other out. So really a unique format.
Yes, but so the next couple, let's get up the annual tourism summary, please. We'll be sending you these via email. We're going to put them up on the screen just to give you a quick look. These are some numbers fresh off our Placer ID. These have not been made to the public yet. We're going to work out some releases on that. But as you can see here, you've got the start. It's kind of...
Some visits.
Yeah, is that the start? Is that the beginning, guys? Does it look like
Yeah, it looks different than what you had.
Oh, okay, that's a different format. Okay, I got you. So as you'll see, looking down through here, the total visits, amazing. Those are numbers that are just 14. What is it? 14.2. That's an annual number, and this is Michigan City only, correct, Robbie?
Yeah.
This isn't our county-wide numbers, but we get a lot of requests just for Michigan City because of the fact that there's developers constantly asking to come in here and do stuff, and it makes sense that we would pull these numbers out. You'll find that the county-wide numbers won't get a whole lot bigger, because obviously that's where our mecca of our activity is, in Michigan City. But I thought they were pretty good. I like the way they broke them down and where they visited. I think some of that we would have probably projected, but see, and then the next one, key locations, you got that, yep. What else is on here I wanted to tell you? So you'll get this in an email. That way you can have a chance to come back with any questions. The dunes numbers, we kind of knew that, expected that, of course, blue chip. So, Robbie, anything you want to add to that?
No, most of my notes are on the next report.
Yeah. Okay, so the next document is our first shot at grabbing the week-long numbers from the race. Now, we haven't got our economic impact study yet, but what this shows us is many things, where they come from, why they came, I think the average length of stay is 1.6 days, which is amazing. Okay, so we had 390,000 people come in on race week, and the average stay was 1.6. That's crazy. And that's exactly what we've been wanting to see. This whole, Pat mentioned, she wants us to beef up Monday or Tuesday with rolling zero. That's the goal now. I sent out a note last night to some of these operators that if somebody can figure out a way they can get something in the water on Wednesday, we may take let them come in here and give us some money. In other words, we want something in the water on Wednesday. Okay, whether it be an offshore boat, whether it be a tunnel boat, whether it be a jet ski, something. Okay, so we can keep building this way, because this is amazing, these numbers that we're starting to see, and we haven't had a chance to analyze these. You guys can take these back and chew on them and come back with questions and observations down to the outer market visitation trends. That's an interesting one. Robbie, you want to explain that a little bit, maybe better than me?
Yeah, so what this really does is just does a deep dive into everything, and this is looking at the locals, but then we also break it apart and further down the document where it just looks at people that are within like a further than a 50-mile radius. And the assumption is if you're coming from more than 50 miles away, you're probably spending the night. And so how do we talk to those people versus who's coming? And so you can see when we had, one of the big takeaways is throughout the week, we're holding about 40-some thousand people, a little over 40,000 at the beginning of the week, and we start ramping up Thursday, Friday, where we peak at 82,000, over 82,000 on Saturday. That's block party and everything else with concerts and all that stuff we have going on. And then we finish with a little over 70,000 on Sunday, holding steady. On the next piece, we have our demographic profile. And that kind of breaks down the local residents. And we're seeing, a lot of our older adults, and which is categorized as autumn years or golden year guardians. And this is kind of stuff, I didn't make these up. This is from Placer. This is what Placer calls them. But what's really cool is they have all these demographic categories. And once you identify which graphic or which category you're seeing the most, we can do a deep dive into that and see who these people are, how they prefer to be marketed to, what kind of marketing resonates with this demographic, and we can start tweaking our video storytelling and also our social media campaigns to talk to these people and target them intentionally. And when you saw in the earlier graphic, we saw, Cook County, Chicago, for example, is one of our biggest drivers, and you see that from you'll see in our out-of-town visitor profile, our biggest group of people is Booming with Confidence, which are people kind of my age that are now starting to get into their careers and have expendable income. We got Power Elites, which unfortunately I can't recognize or don't have anything in common with them. But those are the top economic drivers. These are the top 1%.
We got to talk to you after this meeting.
We'll talk to Placer. We'll call Placer together. But yeah, when you look at the visitor profile from out of town, we have our very affluent people, and they want to be marketed in a much different way than the local demographics that we see. And so that's really going to affect the way we go about this. But also, it shows a testament with the ESPN buy. Like, that is right in the heart of ESPN 1000. So we know, like, with that kind of buy, we are in the right, targeting the right areas with that. And so now we can look and see how we want to go about that. And so here's some just basic marketing implications of Amy and I and the rest of the team will be sitting down and going through together and trying to figure out, a good strategy based on that information.
Is that listed in order of priority or just listed?
It's mostly just listed. These are the things we're going to be taking into account, and then Amy.
If you had to break something out of there that's going to be your top thing to look at, is there anything that you've thought about that you need to look at right away, or?
I don't know right away. I think we're going to be looking at it. I mean, I know, for example, we want to figure out the highest, the best way to communicate with the local market and the best way to communicate with, the overnight visitation. And I know, for example, VIP passes and stuff like that, the, luxury experiences really resonate highly with that group. So we'll try to figure out our marketing to really speak to that. We have the VIP packages and a lot of that infrastructure in place. I think that's why we're already doing so well with that. So now we know how to just keep pushing that lever. And then we'll keep working on that community pride, family fun aspect. And really looking into programs that, how do we get the community to resonate with what's the racers on the, that are actually out there racing. Because a lot of guys we talk to, they might pick their favorite boat because of how it looks, and then that's what they're rooting for, but they don't really understand what's going on. So, especially with our video interviews, one of the things we focused on was education. Because, I don't know anything really about, this is a new sport to me, I'm not really a race fan outside of this event. And now that I've learned so much, now we can start creating videos to educate the local community on this race, and so they know who they want to root for based on more than just the color of the boat. But yeah, so those are the things we're going to be looking at first.
One of the real cool things you'll see when you get a chance to dive into this back at your office or at home, we decided to compare this with the Sheboygan race, which is the week after ours. Almost the same size community, a lot of common. We're both on Lake Michigan, and wait till you see those comparisons. We blew them out, almost everyone. They beat us in one category, and that was length of stay. Yeah. Theirs was 1.8, and ours was 1.6.
And talking to Placer, the reason why they think Sheboygan is beating us slightly, in that very slightly in that category, is because they don't have a huge local draw, or they don't have the just density of population to draw from locally, which is making up a ton of our day trips. Oh, okay. So they have a lot more people just coming in from Milwaukee, Green Bay, and the other, some of the bigger area, Door County and stuff like that. So that's why they believe that is skewed the way it is, just because of geographic.
Yeah.
A couple points too, if I could add. I love the summer, that's really critical. I think we ought to put together a package highlighting points, whether it's the golden years or autumn years or senior elite or whatever the right term is. I don't know what it is, but I think there's a song about that somewhere. But anyway, I would argue that should be a key piece of our sponsorship message relative to which sponsors, if you want to hit this demographic, this is the race to be at, and this is why you should sponsor us. And because I think there's two angles. So one is the sponsor angle, right? The other one is attendance. Mm-hmm. So, well done, though.
Yeah.
And then here's the top most visited attractions during race week. And you can see how this breaks down by total visits. Lighthouse, Blue Chip, our dining spots were doing great during the week. Retail in general. I mean, you can just show when you compare this to an off-race week, we are increasing the business in the community, and it's pretty obvious when you look at the data.
And those are the kind of things when we sell our local sponsorships and stuff, we go talk to Gil or somebody out at Al's. Look what came up. Look what came up. Al's. Look at the supermarket. Yeah. Boom. That had to be a big weekend for them. So yeah.
Yeah. And then here's the kind of key takeaway. It kind of summarizes a lot of what we've already talked about. And as you guys look through this data, it's a big report. So there's a lot of information there. If you see something that surprises you, or you think, oh, I don't understand why that's the way it is, email me and talk to me. I have the answer to most of those things, or I know who to talk to get that answer. So yeah, just feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to help you out.
Chelsea, can you get up the Excel spreadsheet that we're holding for the whole county? the one Chris manages.
Chris, did you send
Yeah, we got
that?
it.
My folder.
It's in an email from last night, from yesterday, from Brett, sent an update. You should see it in your email box. I don't know how you got, is that too much trouble?
It may just take me a second.
Well, once you're doing it, maybe I'll just send it to you. We put together an Excel spreadsheet to define, there's 3 categories. There's events, there's destinations, and then I believe blue chip events. Is that the categories across the bottom, Chris?
Yes.
Yeah. And we defined for ourselves and anybody out in the community what we've done. For example, this week we were at in Union Mills at the
Mill Pond.
Thank you, Mill Pond Festival, very popular Mill Pond Festival. And we put in there how much money we budgeted for that, how much like in kind, what our services we provided, and which staff is assigned, what kind of follow. It's one of the best tools we've ever put together. I'm just giving you a heads up on it. Now, we're going to send it to you to look at. And then look especially close at those 3 tabs on the bottom at the blue chip tab. One thing we don't talk about a lot is the number of events at blue chip, okay? What was that number? 500? What was that number, Angie, on that? 500?
Yeah, over 5 plus 6.
Yeah, almost 600 events that happened at Blue Chip last year. Okay, and by the way, this, we'll put it, this is confidential, okay? It's not for public knowledge.
That's why it's on TV.
Yeah. What I just said is public knowledge, but what's in that report, we don't. What I said is not. Yeah. The Blue Chip numbers are confidential, but it's really very helpful. We think you guys will. So there it is. So we got the name of the first event up there, happens to be a Sunflower Fest, and you can just track it all the way across. You know, were bags provided, website, you know, how much budget support was there. We're adding a category, right, Brett?
Yeah.
That's gonna
I just
say.
sent the new one over that says additional spend.
Yeah, sometimes we spent outside of the budget or something.
Like for Light Fest, we did 10,000 as a sponsorship, and then we provided hotel rooms for the band, so that's in the additional costs.
Yeah, we did identify.
Yep.
So it's a great tool. I mean, we had a local legislator ask us, what do we do in South County and what do you do sometime? There's a great answer to that right there. I mean, it's great. I think you guys will really love it. So look it over and give us any thoughts on that too after you get it back, okay? So I'm gonna move on. The last thing I would like to do is, Calvin, you have not made it to a board meeting yet, have you? Is this your first one? Did you get introduced properly? No. Well, we're gonna make sure we do that now. So as you know, we run the toll road, service to toll road and take care of all the plazas. And we also service over 200 locations in LaPorte County with keeping our materials out there. And Calvin's actually doing both of those for us. I mean, he literally works nights on a toll road and comes back and work days here. And like everybody else here, you know, he wants to be here, and when you say something, question, ask for help, it's not, oh, I'm busy, or, yeah, what can I do to help? Same attitude everybody's got. But just a great guy to have on the team, and we're happy to have you on the team. Thank you very much. Yeah. So, with that, Aim, I think, or Dale, did you have anything under us, me and you, finances? No? Okay, good.
Okay, I'm up. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the Great Lakes Grand Prix, and I wanted to share a few things with you as well. We earned some strong media coverage this year from WNBU, WSBT, and ABC 57. They shared the race on their news as well as their social channels several times, not just once. We got several hits, so it was very exciting. We also earned additional coverage from Speed on the Water, speedonthewater.com. They had several articles. Great News Live, The Beacher, which I was going to pass around. Again, this is earned coverage, so we do not pay for this. I sent out media kits inviting them, and so they picked us up. Also, Access LaPorte County, we have here, and Northwest Indiana Times. They also had a 2019 podcast that, or 219 podcast, I'm sorry, that Scott went on. And Scott did a lot of these a lot of the coverage. He was the person that they interviewed. He did a great job. Dan was interviewed as well, so we really appreciate it. It was a lot of running around, a lot of coordination. It was like, okay, where are you? We got, we're taking people here and there, and it was really great though. And I met one of the ladies from WNDU. She came twice, in fact. So she's like, I'm excited, I'm coming again. So we had a lot of conversation too about how to get more media out there, what they're looking for and that kind of thing. So that was really helpful for me as well, as far as how do we get other news channel to come out and cover the race. So, and then through our partnership with Timeless Aerial Photography, which I talk about a lot, Brandon shared that the Grand Prix videos reached 1.8 million people and 125,000 views from those videos. And that's just that partnership. As Jack said, we're still getting in a lot of information from our partners. So that's just one of the partnerships, which is one of our great partners. Beyond the Grand Prix, we focused on promoting fall travel and launched some fresh digital content. Last week we sent out our third quarter leisure newsletter, and hoping everyone here signed up for that. If you're not, please see me. We featured new blogs on the newsletter. We've got fall festivals, hiking and biking trails throughout LaPorte County, pumpkin and apple picking hot spots around the county as well, back to school and holiday shopping, and then information on the new South Shore train station, which if you haven't been there, you need to go. It's very nice, very well done. Dale and I were there a week ago talking to travelers and taking photographs, so it's a great train station. We also updated our local radio banner ads and commercials to spotlight fall happenings in LaPorte County as well. So we had to quickly shift gears from the Great Lakes Grand Prix to fall, so it's exciting time though. And then a quick note on the innkeeper's tax. As you'll recall, I know Jack sent you all some information on the innkeeper's tax recently, and that we're working with Kelly in the LaPorte County Treasurer's Office on collecting a few of the hotels that are in arrears. So we're working hard on that project, so we'll have more to come. Jack will have more to come on that. That's it.
Okay, next, I don't think we've got any, let's see, Michigan City's not here, LaPorte's not here, the county's not here. Angie?
I really don't have anything to add. This is Brenda's last week for being the GM at Blue Tip, so we had a nice event for last week. I hear that not everyone got their invitations. I apologize for that. I was not part of the invitation process, so, but this Friday is her last week at Blue Tip. So the new regime, I brought JC out to the media night the ribbon cutting at the Great Lakes Grand Prix, so stay tuned for that. We are hosting the Tuesday forum for the Destination Advocate series, so I will make sure that he swings by and introduces himself to you all. So, but really, other than that, I don't want to give too much to update.
Angie invited us over. We're having our first invitational meeting, LaPorte Invitational, so Angie's gonna host us next week, right? Next Monday?
Yeah.
Tuesday?
Do a follow-up.
Yep. We're gonna start our invitational discussions, and she was kind enough to host that. Thanks, Angie. Anything else on the advisory group? We haven't had anything to load
Bill
up?
and I are still recovering, and certainly with Stacy and Doug helping with the volunteerism. So
Yeah.
Bill and I are still recovering too, trying to switch over gears from Great Lakes Grand Prix.
Yeah, I don't know if Bill wanted to say something about the park and the experience of the boat race. This was your first year?
No, it was my second.
Second year. Oh, okay.
Year.
Okay.
I don't know. I think this year kind of went a little bit more smooth. I think every year, as far as the parking operation goes, everybody's getting a little bit more used to it. We get a little bit better with the signage, letting everybody know where to go and what to do. And the police department also chipping in to help coming up with a good plan. It's been nice. And as far as the park, it's all coordination going into it. Our maintenance guy, Pat Volts, does a great job of working with Scott hand in hand and all the rest of the city departments. I mean, every year we fine tune it just a little bit more.
I thought the VIP parking really worked out smooth this year, because in the past it's been a little, where do I go, what do I do, can I get in, can't I get in? So it's really simple.
I mean, the best problem to have is that it pulled up on Sunday, right?
Doug really handles that VIP area very well. All right, this is great. All right. All right, do we have any unfinished business at this time? Anyone? Any new business? Board comments? I know you all enjoyed the boat race. Did everybody get a chance to get out at one point or another?
No, Mario, COVID. Are you okay?
Any comments from any, well, I know Don's already.
I've already given a bunch of comments,
Yeah.
it's great. so-
Anybody else have any other
I just thought the race, the whole experience was just phenomenal. And, just seeing how everyone works as just a well-oiled machine, it's just amazing. There's so much to think about.
It is.
I mean, I can't even think of all the tentacles that have to go out to cover it all, but it's just incredible.
2 points on the getting better thing. The video was tremendous, and especially the 2 big screens. I know that was kind of interesting how that went. But even the smaller screens. So if you wanted to pay a little attention, you could actually find out what's going on in the race.
Right.
Plus, I thought the audio this year was the best it's been.
Yes.
Because without the audio and somebody telling you what racer is where, they're just flying by in front of you. I don't know where it's at or not. And I also thought your extension of the tents toward, it was the Nijco tent and some other tents, like the Embracer tents. To me, that seemed like it worked out well. There was certainly enough room on the VIP side in the tents that you were comfortable and just not sitting on top of each other. So I thought that whole was activity was a good idea.
Yeah, it was better. It was better. I mean, they tend every year, and it's like, this was the best year for being comfortable. You want, like you say, all jam together.
Yeah.
Anyone else? All right, well, with that,
I do have one other point. We didn't talk about this, but because I didn't hear anything negative, very safe event. I mean, think about it. The video we played in terms of almost a life and death kind of thing.
Yeah.
In terms of the danger, and knock on wood, we had another really safe year, and I think that always has to be in the forefront. So.
We need to say there are folks like Rob Zabie, Terry Greetham, police chief, fire chief. Those guys are really instrumental in that safety plan. Coast Guard, DNR, Scott's whole infrastructure team, and anything they can do to mitigate a problem, they do ahead of time. They work there. Some things you're out of your control, but as Don points out, to have that many tentacles, as Laura said, out there and not have something major, the planning helps a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
okay. Well, with that, our next board meeting will be September 23rd, 2025, and pay attention to the emails that come in regards to the forum. That's our next biggest event. That's on the 16th, 17th, and 18th. Mainly the board is going to be involved on the 17th and 18th, and then Jack assigns staff as needed. But definitely want to take advantage of this. As we said at the strategic planning meeting, it's important again to get this out to our residents in this county. So we're trying to make sure we do that. With that, I'll adjourn the meeting, and we'll see you next month or on the forum. Thank you. Have a great holiday weekend.